She's been putting it to the test. And will never die shortly. It'll make it or not make it. So at the same time, when we look back to this, we go back to 2015, Uranus through 2015, 16, and 17 was squaring her ascendant. Wow, that's a personal crisis disrupting her identity. At the same time as the confusion. So there was a lot of shock and instability. So when she came to see me in 2016, I think the first time was 2015, 2016 in there, and then probably 2016, and then she came and saw me again, and then I encouraged her to start in the astrology somewhere in here to try it and to come to the classes. And she offered to help me, and I didn't know how to use her. She was too capable a person at the time, and I just said, keep going with the classes and we'll see. So this was, you can see the shocks, the disruption of Uranus. If you go down to these times, Uranus squared the ascendant and Neptune opposing the Venus. These are not small things. They would be very dramatic highlights. And I think the whole identity of not working and being retired, this is not a peaceful thing. This is a really big trauma in her life. A dilemma and a shock. It changed all of a sudden. Really, it's over last 4 years, last 4 or 5 years, has been changing. Then Uranus in 2018 squared the Sun. So even the first, and it's there now. It was there Uranus in 2019, and it's there in January. So last hit of it's in January. Then it's clear for a while. So the Uranus is a change of confidence. It's still shaking our confidence. Has this really been gone? Has it really changed? The confusion's lifting, but Pluto's there, the Uranus is there. This is the Pluto-Uranus square, and it's hitting her exactly. What's happening in the world's hitting her exactly. Where do I fit in? What am I going to do? It's changing her confidence and her priorities. And usually, with Uranus, it causes all this anxiety until you actually let go of what doesn't fit in anymore, what doesn't belong anymore. You let go of the things that have been there. This has been a process of breaking the identity, breaking confidence, changing who she is, changing what she wants to do. This is all the Uranus. It's not a comfortable change. Her fixed Leo and her fixed thinking normally would not do this if it didn't build up to such an extreme situation. She got away with it for years, doing things. So suddenly, you mean I'm going to have to deal with it? Oh my goodness. So the class has been going on, and this is building up. That was all there through last year. And I think there may have been temptations to go back to do some work or do some things, and it was or wasn't working. It wasn't comfortable. You know, there's it's possible because it's instability here. It's hard to know how confident she would be even around using astrology right now, because that could shake up the confidence while she's studying. So the confrontation and the shake up, it's hitting all these nerves. Certainly, she's not sleeping well, not easily during all of this. But look, they're all stopping another month or two. They're all, the Pluto-Uranus is just there, January, and that's the last of the hits. Then the change, then the past falls behind and a new world starts coming up without being so disruptive. There's no more, she doesn't go through those temptations, those confusions, those doubts, those challenges again. This is a one in a lifetime time, a really intense, dramatic time. So this, you can see we're right at the edge of the last hit of this. There's still one more disruption. Often people are tied up to these things. So someone may be confronting her partner's Blue on the descendant. Someone may challenge someone at work or career. What am I going to do? The confidence of what I had done to changing to doing something else. So the changes will be complete by January. Then what? Okay, so there's the Uranus. Now we worked with Saturn. We saw that Saturn's going through the sixth. It's just on the descendant going above the horizon to go up. So it's to be involved and more functional again and learning how to be more functional, not to be more tied away. So there's still a confrontation here. So when we look at Saturn over this 8-year graph, 2015, Saturn was squaring the Mars, the pressure. Before someone has to retire, they put all the pressure in the world on. Saturn squares the Mars, Saturn squares the Venus, money's tight. What am I doing here to worry? Oh, Saturn and Neptune were both hitting Venus at the same time in 2016. And Uranus was squaring the ascendant. Whoa, not the happiest camper. That brought up the worry. That got her into change. So the tightness and worry about money, I have to just have that calm down. She had to just, but still the confusion was there through 17. She's studying. Saturn squared the moons through 2018, so there's still difficulties around lifestyle and home. I have the Saturn squared Saturn. Okay, yeah, I didn't put the Saturn in. That's why it's not there. The Saturn return coming in. I don't put it on this on the year graph. Yeah, I did the Saturn square the midheaven instead. It was there. Okay, squared the midheaven, conjunct itself, and it squared the moon. The pressure on how do I? If she's at home, she's bored at home. What am I doing at home? I can't just sit at home. Her moon, I need to prove something. I need to do something, but there's pressure on it. What am I doing against retiring? How do I? If she's retired, what am I doing? There's a Saturn moon. She can't sit still. That moon in Aries. So that's been a depression, kind of depression, while the shock and the confrontation all happening through 2018. Well, people don't study astrology till things go extreme, and then it begins to confirm who you are, confirms what's happening, and it proves itself. When I had my chart first done, my reaction was, I'm supposed to be like this? Oh my goodness, it changed everything. It became a hobby, became my career. Well, she's certainly realistic. The confusion left, and she's looking very realistically at these things, but there's certain around the home house she's living she's not happy with. 2018, Saturn's lift off the moon, it's on the descendant. It's opposing the ascendant. So it's sitting opposing the ascendant. Like Pluto lifted, Saturn was there, Pluto's on it. Saturn comes back in December and January, and then it's finished. So Saturn finishes with the ascendant. It's gone over the horizon, so is Pluto by December 2019. The world's changed. It's a different world. The plans we might have had at 60 if we get older and be traveling around, who necessarily wants to travel? There's a lot of places that you can travel. There's a lot of places where it's scary to travel now. There's a lot. Anyways, this reassessment is there. What do I do? I can't just sit home. I can't. So her identity is not strong. Her confidence is still being shaken up. She's still got to change what she set up. So her fixity may have been hanging in, holding on to the old as much as possible. And by now she's realizing I can't hold on to this anymore. It could be something simple as that. Then in 2020, by April, Saturn opposes her sun. Then it passes off, then Saturn opposes her sun. So usually she might have the job. She might have taken some more work or gone back and working at something, and or maybe holding in, took a contract or something, and she knows I can't keep doing this, but she's doing it. And Saturn opposes the sun. What do? You bide your time. There's too many commitments. You can't keep going the way you are. You can't keep doing it, but you're not ready to start something new because you haven't finished the old, and you're kind of on hold. There's kind of inertia there. The Saturn's opposing your sun. If you start a business under that, you anchor that Saturn opposes sun. So usually you're waiting and you're keeping things small and you're putting up with things, you're letting them play out, but you can't keep going the way you are. You don't take more commitments on when Saturn's opposing your sign. You generally hold through and let the old ones simplify. You wait till you have more time and you're feeling better, and then you start to move forward. So 2021 is the time when it starts to open up. So in 2022, Saturn opposes the Mercury. It's not such an intense thing. That's a little serious, a little depressed, but a little worried. But it's Uranus is squaring the Mercury at the same time, so there's a need to change more than she thought. Okay, and then it goes on. So the key point right now is here. We're at 2019, and she's going to see you now. And I'm doing it. She'll be getting. She's listening, so she'll be getting this. So it's So now this is the last hit of what I've been talking about her for 3 or 4 years. But for you guys looking at the chart, it's just here. You're seeing this is the completion of that Uranus. There's no more big disruptions that affect your confidence after this. There's just a bit of extra effort to clean up the pieces and to put up with things to be able to. She knows what she can't let go of. She's got too many commitments. She's still got the home, got the family, got the husband, got the things, and it's not so easy to just take off and do. She might have to work a bit to do her things. Well, during that time period, she's already built up the astrology. She may be trying to do it for a few people or be doing it for a few people along the way and learning it, but it's not the time to set up the business around it. Just be doing it for people. And even then, it's a cost between how long do I stay home, or when do I get out, or where do I go? This pressure is there. So I'm saying like that, if it's something different that she's going through, she'll still see, oh, that's not there, but this is playing out here. She'll see it, but she can see that she hasn't cleared everything just yet. all the things have proved unstable, all things, but she tends to be stubborn and hold in. So it's not till the last hit that this letting go happens and this reevaluation of Saturn opposing the Sun comes through. Once that passed, there's not big, huge things happen. She's got a fairly straight run forward. Okay, how are we doing for time? Okay, so that's, okay, so now we're going to look at just the 2-year period with all the other transits going on and see what's happening. Here, it's Saturn hits the ascendant. We had the Saturn opposing the ascendant December, January, right? I have it marked for 1 degree, within 1 degree. The actual date, December 24th, Christmas. Oh my goodness, the pressure comes on at Christmas. Who's where, what do we have to put out, what do I have to do, how much do I do, who cares? Whether it's kids not coming or coming, whether what, like, just this pressure from relationships, from the descendant side. And she's not, I'm not there the same way, I'm not there, it's not the same thing. Okay, so this is part of the trigger point. So that's just immediately ahead. Right now, this beginning of December, Jupiter squares the midheaven. That's an adjustment or an understanding around career. What am I going to do? How to change? It's like it's an opportunity, but it requires a challenge. Do you take the new opportunity, go with the old? There's an effort to get a new understanding of what one's going to do. Before that, there was anything big standing out, little Mars things, 2 or 3 days. The Saturn's a big thing that comes through. Just go forward with this. Is how we mark up it's just a transit printout of Mars and out to the conjunct, to the hard aspects. And really, you could probably do it just for the conjunction squares and oppositions. I included the minor squares just in case. I keep them there, but I don't use them that much. Most of the things are happening on the bigger aspects. And then after Saturn, by Saturn opposes the descendant in December 24th, Jupiter comes along, it's in Capricorn, it's going to oppose the descendant on March 6th. So if we go back a little bit here, March 6th. So March 6th, Jupiter's conjuncting the descendant, Saturn's opposing the Sun, but it's finished with the descendant. So there may be opportunities. Someone may come in with an opportunity, you want to come out here, let's do this together. Someone else, person may come in and say, we could work together, let's do something. So they could come in like that. And then Mars opposes the Sun in April, and then on April 2nd, then Saturn opposes the Sun exactly on April 22nd. So she's going to get an opportunity to do something, and she's going to feel tied in and not feel she can do it that much, or at least she won't get support or be pressured because of it. Because if she takes time away from family, or from husband might feel threatened by the time. I'm not sure. Something like that. There's pressure there, restricting it, holding it in. All of this hasn't quite been resolved yet. Then Saturn just backs up goes retrograde in May. But it goes from 141 up to 157, so it stays within a few minutes of a degree. And then it hits again in May. So really solidly from April, that's where these graphs work better. You don't have to measure all these exact things. It's pretty well solidly from April to June, to the end of June, she's got Saturn opposing her Sun. And that's April to the end of June. There's that line. If you get it organized, you don't have to think the math so deeply. I can do it because I've used it so long. I can go in and I can walk out of it and get beyond it, and not get caught lost and just measure it's exactly this, get lost in all the detail. The overview of these 3 months is more important, and the Saturn opposed to Sun on and off through this year is the important issue coming up. But still, it's more critical because Uranus is hitting the Sun. She hasn't let go enough quite yet. She thinks she can hold all the world together. It's not holding all together. The old is falling away, and it's taking a year to get used to it before the new starts really evolving in. Okay.